Rolland Garros final was a wonderful match of almost 5 hours and 30 minutes, if I'm not wrong. But based on the kind of game that we have witnessed within the time frame, people have started to categorize that match alongside Wimbledon 2008 and the final of Australian Open between Nadal and Djokovic, in the year 2012. So Wimbledon 2008 was between Federer and Nadal. 2012 Australian Open final was between Nadal and Djokovic, and of course, this match also was among the world number one and world number two. So I'll say that I am not going to disagree with this opinion because it certainly catches the attention. It rather retains the attention of the audience with the kind of game that these two gladiators of tennis were trying to showcase before all the audience. It was a wonderful display of talent, perseverance, endurance, uh, dedication, commitment. I could see all those things on the basis of which I decided that I certainly have to say a thing or two just to slightly differentiate between these two big giants, the present two giants of tennis. This is a new kind of rivalry that we are witnessing right now that is gradually developing. Rather, it has gradually swept the legends of previous years. Rather, I'll simply tell you the truth that I'm a very big fan of those big four. Indeed, but every rise has a fall, and right now, gradually, we have witnessed the retirement of almost everyone except for one of those big four that is still trying hard to give his best in his last year, I guess, because the way he is giving some of his interviews in the press conferences and talking about Novak Djokovic, of course. So he is also kind of indicating that, yeah, I'm not sure, but this may be my last tournament, my last appearance on Rolland Garros, and certainly he is targeting the Grand Slam championships of this year, which is certainly creating a kind of uncertainty when it comes to whether he'll be appearing in 2026 or not. But now, coming back to the discussion of this Roland Garros final, what a match! What a wonderful display of such difficult shots and the way they were picking them, the kind of precision that they were showing, the kind of deep hitting that these two players were doing, and there is one thing that I really like about these two players, Alcaraz as well as Sinner. They certainly always say this thing. They have high respect and regard for one another despite the rivalry, but they always say that we both need one another to extract the best version out of ourselves. And this is true regarding life or any aspect of life. In order to extract the best version of yourself, you really need to push yourself hard, or you really need the worst kind of circumstances, quite a lot of difficulties, and only then this brain starts working. It starts creating new synapses to determine what kind of solution do I need to solve this problem. And this is something that they were doing during those 5 hours and 30 minutes. You could clearly see that within the first two sets, Carlos was in so much predicament. He was facing a lot of difficulty. Sinner was so much dominant, and to tell you the truth, just a day earlier, one day before that match, I was just I placed a poll in one of the WhatsApp group in which I am connected with some of my other friends with whom we play, tennis, friendly tennis, the way you guys do. So I placed a poll in which I asked that, and the winner of the Roland Garros this year will be, and then Sinner, and yeah, I gave a choice between Sinner, and the point is that majority picked Carlos, and somehow I don't know why, but I went for Sinner. I was the only one, rather. This is the interesting part, that I was the only one who was supporting Sinner, and I was really wondering that why are the guys so much into Carlos, and their point of view was very much simple, that Carlos simply puts in a lot of variety. He kind of creates the kind of variety that we used to see in Rogers' game, in Nadal's game, and when it comes to Sinner, so he is considered to be a 2.0 of Novak Djokovic. So Sinner is AKA Djokovic 2.0 because the kind of deep rally, deep hitting that he does, and with the kind of consistency that he keeps on playing or extending the rally to make the other opponent tired. This is the same thing that Sinner kinds of does. But uh, when I look at his game, when I have seen him play in different matches, be it the initial rounds or even the semi-final or the final, pardon me, but he has a lot of variety. He can, come up with a drop shot at any time. He can lob, he can drop, he can simply hit a very strong and a very deep top spin shot. He has good kick serve, flat serve, slicer. So he has all the variety, and I'll say they both are very much complete player. And if I talk about the first two sets, I could see that variety being created, being developed, being consecuted and executed by Sinner within the first two sets. But then there was like a big shift on which I would certainly say that the whole credit goes to Alcaraz. The way he simply shifted his game, the way he got back his confidence, the way he started to play, that was really quite much surprising for me also, because many a times in different matches I have seen him panic, lose nerves whenever he would go down a couple of games, whenever he would be broken by the opponent, he loses his nerves. And this is something that I criticize and that I always talk to some of my big fans of Carlos also, that he plays wonderful. He is very much confident, but all of a sudden when he loses game, he starts hitting outside here and there. And I understand that sometimes when we have played in certain tournaments in couple of sets, so I know the kind of nerves that are there within an official match. That is totally opposite to the friendly match that we play along with our friends. But yeah, that is there. But these guys are meant or built for these kind of challenges and nerve breaking matches, so they know how to handle it. But somehow I have seen Carlos suffer at times. But in this match, or rather the final that he played against Sinner in Rome, what a performance! Utter dominance. And in this one, the dominance started in the third set when he started to play such perfect shots. Whenever there was a drop needed, he came up with a drop. Whenever he needed a cross court deep fast shot, he came up with that. And Sinner started making errors. And the moment we entered into the third set, there was an increasing number of errors, double faults that were being committed by Sinner, whereas Alcaraz game went at the peak, at the top, and those things were the game changer. And despite, just imagine, these things had such an impact that despite having three championship points, Sinner was like unable to close the set or close the entire tournament. And that gave Carlos such a confidence that he simply changed the game. I could see some hints of Sinner trying to come back, regaining his momentum, regaining his confidence when it comes to the fifth set. You would have seen it, the kind of the drop shot that Carlos simply gave Sinner, and he was able to pick it up and creating another small shot that was unreachable for Carlos. And that was the game changer. That didn't last for such a long time, but that really indicates that both these players have so much endurance, perseverance to be able to handle the pressure. So these were the things that I really like. The pace at which both these guys were hitting the shots to one another. I loved each and every variety that they were coming up, and of course their stamina and their entertainment and the kind of hitting that they were doing. So it was a wonderful match. Yeah, there wasn't anything that I will say I was missing. Of course, there was one thing missing, and that was that I couldn't see Sinner lifting the trophy. That was the only thing that I was, eagerly waiting for, but that didn't happen. Of course, the fans of Alcaraz, yeah, my friends, they all said that, yeah, we told you already that he is going to take the trophy, and I said I already knew Sinner is going to do something different this time, based on the experience that he has gained from Rome. So he came up with a very good plan. He was executing it quite well, but I don't know what happened when it comes to the third set of the fourth or fifth. So he certainly is going to learn his lesson. He'll try to not repeat these mistakes when it comes to Wimbledon. Hopefully, I guess I am eager and I wish that we are able to see another a titanic clash between these two, world number one and world number two of the present time, in the Wimbledon final. Let's see if we are able to get it or not. But certainly, I'll say that if it happens, there is going to be the game of psychology between these two players, because earlier it was like 4-3 in the Grand Slam list. Carlos was 4, Sinner has 3 titles. Now he has a lead of 5 against 3, so that means that this thing also gives him an edge. The second thing is that Alcaraz has already won Wimbledon twice, and against the one of the best players on planet, who used to be one of the best player on planet. So Djokovic has faced him in both finals, and in both finals he has given a wonderful performance. So yeah, of course, this time you can say that there will be Djokovic 2.0 if Sinner is able to, reach the final, and Alcaraz also from the other side. You never know what happens, but this is my wish that if they face one another, Alcaraz is going to have a psychological advantage, and it will be difficult for Sinner, knowing that he has 5 titles, 2 on this field, and yeah, he's young, he's passionate, he's hungry, and he's going to give me a tough time. So it will be a difficult job for Sinner, but once again, being his fan, really appreciate his game. Really love the way he simply, generates all the power from his forehand as well as backhand. So my wish is, my hope is that he's certainly going to take his 4th title, winning the Wimbledon title. So let's see what happens, and my best wishes for them as well as all the viewers who are watching this review. So take care. I'll come up with a new one.